So today I'm going to be talking about something that a lot of the landscapers that I've had conversations with are missing out on majorly in their business. So I want to quickly go over this and just show you how all of this works, break down all the math so that you can see how much value you could be leaving on the table as a landscaper. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing is, if you're a landscaper and you've been in business for 3 to 5 years, and you're not already doing all these things, chances are you're missing out on a ton of potential value in your business. So let's go ahead and get started. This is probably only useful if you've already been in business for at least 3 years. And it might be helpful if you just are getting started, but chances are, you need to at least have a few years in the business for this to be applicable. So first thing, I'm going to assume that you have a backlog of maybe like 100 customers, 100 contacts, 100 emails, something like that. If you've been in business for 3 to 5 years, chances are you have an email list of about 100 people that you've helped, you've talked to, you've gone and done walkthroughs, even if you weren't able to sell them on something. Like, you probably have 100 emails, and, it wouldn't surprise me if you probably had a lot more than this, but at least 100 customers that you've talked to over the years. You've either done services for them or you've at least done a walkthrough. So let's just start. That's what our math is going to be based off, just to make it easy. But let's say you have 100 customers in your backlog. So the next thing where this starts to get interesting is crafting seasonal intro offers. So this is something that not very many companies do. They sort of just have this like lead flow system, whether that be paid ads or billboards, yard signs, word of mouth, whatever, right? They have some kind of lead system to get new customers. But once they have customers, they kind of like, just leave them in the backlog. They don't really do anything with it. So this is the first thing we're going to be doing to start getting some value out of this backlog of customers that we have built up. So the first thing we're going to do is craft seasonal intro offers. So for a lot of landscapers, obviously you want to base it around the seasons and the different things that you're going to be doing around those seasons. So if you're in a cooler climate like us, we're up here in West Michigan, the ground starts freezing usually around late October, something like that, mid-late October. So a common seasonal intro offer would be to offer sprinkler line blowouts, right? So it serves as a helpful message reminder to homeowners, like, hey, if you have a sprinkling system, make sure you're blowing out your lines because the ground's going to freeze soon. And if you don't want to do it, we'll come out and do it for you. So that's one thing. Another very common thing is like fall cleanup. So you could do, offer some kind of an intro offer where you go and you just take care of all their leaves, you spruce up their flower beds, winterize their flower beds, things like that. And then, of course, in the spring, it could be offering sprinkler turn-ons. It could be spring cleanup. It could be, remulching, all these different things. The idea behind intro offers is you're trying to make it a very low investment decision for the customer. So, for design build landscapers, right? If you go in and you do a full landscape design and redoing their whole backyard and their whole front yard, and you sit down and you present them with a $75,000 proposal, I mean, you might get some people that will bite on that, but a lot of people are not trying to spend 75 grand on their house, but they might be willing to spend 2 to 3 grand. And maybe later on in the year, they're willing to spend 5 grand, 10 grand. So the idea is you're trying to kind of cast a wider net to just get smaller jobs. And I'll explain how the math works here, but the more of these intro offers that you can sell, the more that you can take advantage. All of this will eventually flow into landing those higher jobs, but you have to start here, right? You can't just rely on, in one shot selling a $75,000 job. Your success rate's not going to be great on that. So anyway, we're going to start with crafting seasonal intro offers. And let's just say your intro offer converts at 20%, which is not bad for, customers that you've already worked with or already know you, they already trust you. A 20% conversion rate for a seasonal intro offer is middle of the pack. It's not great, but it's not terrible. So let's just assume that it converts at 20%. That means we'd have 20 new jobs that we can go fill our pipeline up with. And especially if you're a design build landscaper, this can be really helpful because it's just, it can be smaller stuff. You don't have to have super specialized labor for it. It can be nice stuff to fill in between jobs. So, so this alone is just 20 new jobs that you can plop on an additional $50K of revenue. We're just kind of throwing out a number for $2,500 is what you're selling the offer for. But again, this could be up or down regardless. So this is $50K of extra revenue. You can just bang, add right on top of your top line there. So from there, once you have the intro offer, you sell it, you get this work. Now you're going to pivot right into an upsell or cross-sell offer. So this is kind of the next step of the intro offer. First, you have the intro offer, you're just trying to get in the door. From there, from each of those intro offers that you have, you want to offer a very easy upsell, cross-sell offer for the prospect to take. So not only do you want them to obviously, just get you some amount of work, get you in the door with an intro offer, but for each individual intro offer that you craft, you want to have a very obvious next step for them to take. So, if you're doing something like a sprinkler blowout, you want to go to them when you're doing the work and say, hey, whatever, I notice your flower bed, you're kind of missing some color over there. Do you want us to plan on doing some planting for you? Or, hey, your mulch looks kind of old. Do you want us to bring in some mulch next week? It's like you want to have these pre-planned upsell or cross-sells that you can offer once you're there, because it just makes it so much easier for them to say yes. Once they already have the trust, once you're already there, once you already have their payment info, it just gets a lot easier to get these upsells and cross-sells across the line. So that's the next step. So let's assume that again converts at about 20%. So you're looking at an extra $5,000 per customer. And again, we're just looking at the customers that we got through our intro offers. So if you were doing this for all of your customers every time, it's going to be even more. But again, you're looking at approximately an extra $5,000 per customer. That's an additional $20,000 per revenue. Again, considering a pretty low percentage for conversion. These upsells, cross-sells could and should convert at a much higher rate than 20%. But again, we're just being, we're being pretty conservative just to show you the power. So already we're at like $70,000 of revenue off of very little work that we've done. So the part where this gets interesting is what happens next, right? So let's go look at this left path. So now what we're going to do as part of all this is we're also going to make sure that we're asking for a Google review from every single customer that we do a job for, right? So the big picture of this system that we're talking about is you want to sort of increase the surface area of the number of customers that you interact with and are doing work for, because even if you do a very, very minimal job for a customer, but you do a really good job at that and they leave you a 5-star Google review, that is where this really starts to pay dividends. So let's say you're asking for Google reviews from every single customer. You implement the processes to do this, and you get about 30% of the people that you do work for to leave a Google review. From there, that means you got 6 new 5-star reviews from this one seasonal intro offer that you just put into place. And 6 new 5-star reviews is going to be a huge bump in your SEO and your organic search volume. For those of you that aren't aware of this, your Google business profile, 5-star reviews are massive for how you get ranked and how you get found through Google local search results. So getting 6 new 5-star reviews is going to be massive for your business. And if you get 6 every single time you do one of these intro offers, I mean, the other landscapers that I've worked with, I mean, we're doing like 6 to 8 of these per year, right? Like you just craft them for all the different seasons, all the different events. This is really how you start to pile up 5-star reviews. And then that will just, catapult you through the search rankings. And it's just going to feed right back into this. It means you're going to be found much easier online. Your phone's going to start ringing more. And then bam, you're right back into the cycle, adding more intro offers. And again, this is just on top of whatever core business you're already doing. So if you're not already doing this, I highly, highly recommend that you do it. If you want help getting any of these systems set up, I recommend you can do all of this from within Jobber. So if you need help on getting that set up, just click the contact link in the description below, and we'd be happy to help you get all of that set up. It doesn't take very long. And again, you can see that the payoff is pretty amazing. So thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time.